Hey, this is Jaryd Krause, host of the Buying Online Business podcast. And in this episode, I'm speaking with Mushfiq from Easy Wins. Now, Mushfiq is a website broker. He is a website investor and buys and sells his own content sites and has been doing this since 2008. And he usually finds 1 to 2 sites per year that he can 10x and then sell. Now, specifically in this episode, Mushfiq and I talk about how to increase your revenue on your content sites with things like CRO, conversion rate optimization, ad revenue and adding ads. And then we talk about some more specific strategies to increase your revenue, such as getting a higher affiliate commission and some other cool ways as well. Now, we also talk about what type of SEO you should be focusing on your sites in 2021 and beyond. Also, we talk about some user experience tweaks, which are very, very important for content sites, and how we should be looking at our content sites as not content sites anymore, but media businesses and communities, and building a great community around that. We also talk about risk minimization strategies and how to build a moat for a content site. So if you're looking at buying a website business and looking at scaling a content website, this is such an incredible episode. You're absolutely going to love it. Now, before we get stuck into this episode, I want to tell you that this podcast is not the only way I can help you for free. Before you get to the stage of owning a site, you need to go away and buy it, which is why I have my due diligence framework 2.0 version, which everybody's been raving about, which will help you with knowing what to look out for when you're buying a website, questions you need to ask the seller, and also things that you need to find out about the business to ensure that you can make a good, educated decision as an investor. To get this, just go to my site, buyingonlinebusinesses.com/free resources. And on that page, there's other cool resources you can check out there too. Let's get stuck into the episode, guys. Today's episode is brought to us by Niche Website Builders, which is a company a few of my clients are using and have used for content creation and link building services. They do everything from start to finish. So from keyword research all the way to uploading your completed article for you. We've also had Bob members buy ready-made affiliate sites built by Niche Website Builders. So if you're looking to outrank your competitors' content and build better backlinks, Niche Website Builders and I have a special deal for you. Head to nichewebsite.builders/Bob. I'll put a link in the show notes for you. But again, that's www.nichewebsite.builders/Bob. Hey, Mushfiq, welcome to the podcast. Now, thanks so much for coming on. I'm super excited about this one. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Jaryd. I appreciate it.
So before I hit the record buttons, I was saying I feel like we're going to probably go a little bit longer than our usual episode, but that's going to be good because I feel like we've got a lot of value you've got a lot of value to share. And especially with the newsletter that I've been consuming that you guys are doing is just top notch. It's so good. And I mentioned that earlier, and I'll put show notes links to that as well for everybody. Awesome. Because guys, if you own a site or you're about to buy a site and you're trying to grow a site, you need to be on this newsletter. It's really good. At times I'll look at it and be like, damn, that's a good breakdown or case study, and I'll just forward that to a couple of people in my team and go check that out. And that's the things we need to be looking at. So I'm looking forward to breaking down some of those things that you guys actually do. So it's easy wins. So is that your main strategy? You're buying sites and you're trying to find these quick, easy wins, and you find them, you look at these obviously before you purchase them and go, okay, cool, this is what we know we can do. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So the analogy I love to use is distressed real estate, right? Plenty of properties that, have a good foundation maybe, but they just need some fixing up, and then they, increase in value. I look for those in websites. Essentially during my due diligence, that's when I pick those easy wins up, put together the strategy before I even buy it, right? You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. So, I'm looking for those easy wins. I even have my team strategizing and, before we even close on the deal, right? Just like what's going to be the next step. And then, we buy it. We sometimes buy above market rates, for 30, 35x is the average. I bought a site for 75x, it doesn't matter to me. Wow. My acquisitions are less than 50K ideally. So I'm happy to pay a crazy multiple just to get the deal done. And then because I know that my strategy is in place, I can, 10x value over, a 6-month period, and then it becomes an asset. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you said you make your money on the purchase, and it's the same with real estate investing as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people, when they first start out, and they may be listening to this, so they start out and be like, I want to buy a business, but why would somebody actually sell a good business that's
Yeah.
running quite well? And the answer is that what you said is they can build it up to a certain extent of their knowledge and their experience. And there's all
Yeah.
these other low hanging fruits, all these other easy wins that
Sure.
you're aware of. And once people start to learn this space, they can become aware of, and that's a strategy that
Right.
they can use. So
Right. Right. And I sell sites, not buy sell. That's what I do. I flip, right? And you could ask me the same, why am I selling sites, right? There's the startup phase of a site, which is what I try to bypass by buying a site, right? And then it's okay, now the founder has kind of maximized, as you said, all they know, right? I come in and I see those easy wins, I pick it up, and then I do the exponential hockey stick growth, right? And then it becomes kind of a day-to-day, management thing. And some people love those steady assets, but I love that hockey stick growth because I just get adrenaline rush, right? So that's when I sell, maybe after a few months of stability, just to get the averages up, and then I sell it, repeat, right? And as I get older, age-wise, I'm sure I'm gonna have from risk taker to more stable, but right now it's the hockey stick going after
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
there's different horses for different courses, or I could say different levels in business. For example, like say you buy something for, like, this is awesome. This would be an awesome example. If you buy something for 50K and you build it
Yeah.
up over 3 years or whatever, and you sell it for 500K, there's a
Yeah.
very different strategy to get a 50K business to 500K than it is to get a
Yeah.
500K business to a million.
Yeah.
It's very
Exactly.
different. And there's people that are really good at going 500 to a million.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, 100%. And I 50. So my theory is I hold for 1 year, right? That's pretty much the average. After that, I'm looking for the exit, and so I'm looking for businesses that I can, within 3 months, 10x revenues. Those don't come around often, right? I buy two a year like that, and those
Mm.
are those big hockey stick ones, and they take most of my time. And then for example, I can just so I bought a site April last year. It was making $300, and 1 month later making 3,000. Now it's at 10,000, right? And it's only been 8 months. So and that's because it fit my criteria, and now I could exit. However, I see more opportunity, so I'm going to keep it and, build it up a little bit more. But yeah, so, it all depends on the strategy of the individual person. As you said, for me, it's, the quick ones. And then maybe one day, I will transition into holding it for, many years, but that all depends on the person.
And congratulations on that. That's an awesome deal. And I want to
Thanks.
break down some of these easy wins and some of these strategies and
Sure.
talk about them. But before we do, a question that
Yeah.
just pops up to mind is it also a niche? There's a niche component to like this, like buying in a niche that is actually a niche that's sort of, I don't like to use the word trending, but a niche that's
Yeah.
up and coming. Is that also a strategy, and does that also play into the success of these? You
No,
find?
I don't go into up and coming niches. Up and coming niches are great, but they don't always have the monetization options. You're not going to find affiliate programs for all these, new topics. So I like to do the boring old stuff, traditional things like, well, I have a dating site, a review site, I have a outdoor site, I have a site in the Forex niche, so foreign exchange, some the boring stuff, because those have, I can analyze my competitors and just take the monetizations as strategies that they're using and just replicate, right? So yeah.
Sorry, I
Okay.
may have
Sorry.
asked the question in a incorrect way.
Sure.
So not like a up and coming, like a brand new niche that's just been
Okay.
started, but what I mean is,
Right.
like, say something becomes a little bit more popular because the environment in the world changes a little bit. For example, one of my clients bought a chess site, which chess been around for like
Got it.
ever, right?
Right.
and it started to go quite well because the
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit and
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. Do you look at these types of things of like there's niches, like growth within niches because of
Yeah.
environmental changes? Do you look at those things at all, or not really?
Not really. No, I think that's kind of a bonus. For example, I got a COVID bump on my outdoor site. I didn't buy it because of that. It just wasn't, I didn't know that was going to happen. It just happened, right? So, no, I don't look for those. Really, all I'm looking for is consistent traffic, nice growth, all of those things, not really a specific topics within a niche.
I'm so glad that you said that because you've just taken that off everybody's plate. And it's like it's another thing that people don't need to focus on, which is really good.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't do as well. Like I'm not like, okay, I need to make sure I've got my finger on the pulse. Where that would be just a waste of my time, right? Like when my genius can be in a different area within
Yeah.
business.
And
Yeah.
that's the difference between in the stock, you're day trading, looking for that next thing, right? Versus long-term value. I know. So it's different strategies and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to talk about in investing, the level of control that we can have.
Mm-hmm.
The more control we have over an investment, the less risk is actually involved.
Right.
And when we are looking at trends and markets and stocks and cryptos and all that sort of stuff, it's you know if the market plummets, we have no control, right? We can't bring our investment back. But if that happens with a Google algorithm update, we can certainly bring it back, all right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Which is
Over time. Yeah, for sure.
over time, yeah, because it's a long. Well,
Yeah.
I'm getting in this for long term, and I suggest everybody else does as well. Especially like we mentioned this before we even hit record. Is like if we're trading so many websites,
Mhm.
right, and we're not, even if we don't go with brokers, even if we don't sell with brokers, well, say for example we do sell with brokers, we're losing a chunk of profit on the sale, right? And then even if we don't go with brokers, we're losing a chunk of money and time by just listing and finding sellers and all that sort of stuff. And if we do this at a big scale, like that can end up digging into our profit as well, right? If we're trying to do this
Yeah.
on a short-term approach of selling it, buy it and then sell it in 6
Right.
months or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
Do you
Yeah. I
see
mean,
that?
there used to be a time when, so I started in 2008. I probably should have said my backstory first, right? I sold my first site in 2009. And back then I was buying sites at, 10x multiple, 15x multiple. Those are some good days. And, I could turn around and sell that for 20, 25x just because I had a network, right? So, and those are short flips. I would buy something for 5,000 and sell for 15,000. I was young. I was, 20 years old or something. And it's okay. It's good money, right? But as time is now, I see those opportunities and I walk away, right? Because my time has value right now. They're all there. It's so tempting just to buy it and just get a VA working on it. But I'm not doing those. I'm doing bigger flips, right? More, at least 50K to 200K of flip profit within 1 year. Otherwise, it's not so interesting anymore, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, great. So let's break down some of these easy wins. Like I know that you post so many on Easy Wins. Is
right,
it easywins.io?
easywins.io, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
product. Yep.
And then you've got you cover a lot in the
Right.
newsletters as well, which people should be checking out.
Yep.
Get on that, guys.
Yep.
What, because you got so many, what do you find are
Yep.
some of the most common ones or the most
Right.
beneficial ones that people can start to
Right.
look at when they purchase a site? And we're mainly
Right.
talking about content sites, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
only deal
just
with
so people
content
know.
sites,
Yeah,
not e-commerce, not SaaS, and the product is tailored to content sites. Yeah, the main ones are, for example, if it's an affiliate site, let's talk Amazon affiliate. I try to stay away from those as much as possible, but that's what most
same.
people buy.
Yeah.
So Amazon affiliates, any type of affiliate, people miss the highest click-through element on a site, which is comparison tables. I see so many sites that you know, I do website teardowns essentially. People send me sites, I record a video just walking through it, and I see they don't have a comparison table. Or if they do have a comparison table, they're not linking the image, which is the highest click-through element on the table, right? So those are the easy ones. And I have bought sites in the past where it's missing tables or it's missing images, and it just takes like a day's worth of work, and immediately you see their revenue increase, right? So that's an easy one. Others on affiliate sites, people don't add display ads. I like to add display ads, Ezoic, Mediavine, Ad Thrive, sometimes AdSense if the traffic is low, right? With my affiliate monetization, and that doubles income easily. Other things are if you have high affiliate commission products, like let's say your ticket value, commission value is $30, let's say, right? You should have pop-ups on those pages sending people to those affiliates. It shouldn't just be call to action buttons or links within your content, but after when people try to exit the page, put a pop-up there showing that offer, right? Because they came to that page for a reason, and that will get those last minute visitors going and your conversions up. So anyways, those are some of the easy ones, but I can cover more.
Yeah. So I'll put this in the category of revenue generation.
Yeah,
Put that
exactly.
under that umbrella, right? So definitely CRO for conversion
Exactly.
rate optimization for not just
Yeah.
even Amazon, right? But affiliates in general, because
Yeah.
sometimes, and I mention this a lot, you can negotiate with a retailer. Like say you've got
Yeah.
even an affiliate product that's being sold by Best Buy or
Yeah.
wherever, Walmart, is you can see that there's another real retailer that will sell it, and you can increase your
Yeah.
affiliate commission by going directly to the retailer, and it's better. It's a
Yeah.
win-win for the retailer as well.
Yeah.
So
And here's one that's interesting. It's actually like a one that it takes effort, but I was successful doing it. And a lot of people are doing it after the Amazon cut their commissions, I think in last April or May. So now, look through your Amazon Associates report and look through your products that are being sold, right? Pick the top three, reach out to the manufacturer and tell them, look, I will feature you on the number one spot, right? But you have to cut me a deal. I'm going to send traffic to your Amazon listing as I have been doing, no cost to you, right? Because Amazon pays that commission. They somehow take it from the seller. But anyways, but you on the side give me 10%, 20% additional commission. I'll send you a report at the end of the month. You send me, I'll send you a report and an invoice, PayPal, and you pay me, right? And so I did that with one of my I looked through my reports and I saw, one of these products that is $280, right? And I signed a 20% commission deal with them. All of a sudden, I'm from 4% to 20%, 24% net, right? Now, the benefit to the the brand is that they still get these organic sales in Amazon, so they're moving up in the rankings. So it's a win for them there. They're only
hugely.
paying essentially they're paying me for being their influencer marketer, right? And I'm sure they're breaking even just to get the organic sales up. My benefit is I want people to go to Amazon because I get 24% from the brand for that specific product, but the one person buys a lot of products, right? So I get the full cart value. So I love that approach. You might have to get on a phone call, but it works, right?
It's a great strategy where you can highlight to the retailer that they're
Yeah.
selling on Amazon that a part of your budget, your Amazon PPC
Yeah.
budget, can go into influencer
Exactly.
marketing. And if you understand the overall strategy of it, and you can look at it like I have just
Yeah.
now and go, okay, cool, I understand where they're at, and you understand what they want, then you can just
Right.
be very creative in how you give it to them.
Exactly.
And I think it's a great strategy. And the funny thing, Mushfiq, is that was actually posted in our community last week, and
Nice.
it's been getting a nice little thread on it now because
Nice.
people are like, oh wow, this is really really cool, and
Yeah.
it's a good strategy. So CRO, and then adding ads to your site is a key one. I
Yeah.
have some clients in my mastermind that they're jumping on Ezoic and they're starting to put ads on their site, their affiliate sites that they've just purchased.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I've noticed is that each and we do competitive analysis on different affiliate competitors and stuff like that with
Mm-hmm.
affiliate sites, and we've noticed that those sites that are doing quite well is they'll have like a product, and then they'll, instead of having like a content break or a line or something in between, is they'll have like a small little ad in between each product.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that as a popular thing, and is that working, or do you have other strategies that work quite well with ad placements for affiliate sites as well?
Yeah, so I don't get that deep into ad placements like that. I mean, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good strategy. I do use separators and horizontal separators. So that's actually a really good strategy. What I do like to avoid is keeping my ads away from the affiliate call to actions. So around each of my end of my reviews before I put separate, I have call to action buttons, either product boxes or whatnot. So I don't want my ads to be right next to that because I don't want a distraction there, right? I want it in other places that's kind of not where I want the user to focus. So I don't get that deep into these or whoever, but I do make sure that there is no overlap between that. So maybe that one won't work for me, but I'm sure it works for somebody else. Yeah.
I like that you said that, because when you think about having an ad too close to like a call to action button,
Yeah.
if that, because with the ad tracking now, that it may change with all the things that are happening in Apple and Google and all these
Sure.
things, but if you have an ad really close to a call to action button and the tracking of that ad is that you've just been to a site that's very similar
Yeah.
to what your affiliate product
Yeah.
is you could,
Yeah.
really stuff some people up and break some Google policies and
Right.
get disapproved and stuff. So I think that's a really good
Yeah.
thing to highlight there, is that
Yeah.
you said it's a distraction, but you don't want to confuse people.
Yeah. You don't want to confuse people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So there's a way that we can increase revenue with
Yeah.
these sites. Now, SEO, how much strategy and resources do you put into
Um,
SEO? Is that a big component of the business, or is it just increased revenue and let's see if we can get rid of this? Or
So I have a three-pronged attack, right? I have a growth
mm,
phase that's 1 to 3 months, and then I have the stabilization, and then the maintenance
mhm,
phase. Sorry, flip that. Maintenance and then stabilization phase, right? So in the growth phase, that's like sprint, right? I buy sites that have traffic that are distressed, like distressed in terms of not traffic, but monetization. So
mhm,
immediately within a few weeks, I focus heavily on getting the CRO on the top 10, 20 pages, so 80-20 rule, right? And that gets the revenue up. Simultaneously, I'm hiring writers. So I do focus heavily on SEO. I'm not just a CRO person, right? It's a CRO plus SEO. So I'm
mhm,
hiring writers. I have dedicated writers per site. And so those guys, I'm doing the keyword research and giving them the content to write while they're ramping up. The CRO has been applied, and so that they kind of converge at some point where
mm,
content is continuously being put onto the site, revenue is coming in that's sustaining the cost, right? So I don't lose money, right? I'm not putting things back out of my pocket most of the time, right? Always doesn't work out like that. And I put up for the recent case study outdoor site. I put 50 to 75 articles per month. So I'm very focused on
yeah.
content, and that gets but it takes time. It takes 3 to 6 months on any site to get those up there. But the CRO is sustaining the business, right?
Yeah, the CRO is sustaining the business and helping put resources into the team to write those
Yeah,
articles, yeah?
yeah,
S-
yeah.
So
But caveat, right? You gotta have the traffic, right? You have to have the traffic. That's why I'm buying sites that have traffic. Traffic is value, right? You
mhm,
can do whatever you want with traffic. So buy sites that have traffic. Monetization can come later. You can build your own products. You can make something. You can make money in any niche. It's just what is that method, right? So traffic, traffic, traffic. Just like location, location, location in real estate, right?
yeah, I love to run real estate investing very parallel to this because there's so much that I
Yes,
learned from
very,
it.
very similar. Exactly.
In terms of like SEO, you're getting a bunch of articles written. We won't have to cover the keyword
Yeah,
research and the process of that because a lot of
for
people
sure.
across that themselves. And
Yep.
um, is there any other things that you look at doing with SEO, like more of a longer term SEO strategy? Like,
Yeah.
I know that I'm not going to mention anything because I want to see what you say. But there's a lot of old content out there,
Yeah.
articles and stuff like that are talking about
Yeah.
SEO that's just not beneficial and also can be quite destructive in 2021.
Yeah.
So are you finding
Yeah.
there's some more beneficial strategies in 2021 that you're more focusing on that will be helping this year and next year and a little bit beyond?
Yeah. So on page, and I separate on page and off page. So
Right.
specifically on page SEO, right? User experience. I like to optimize for that. The sites that I buy don't care about user experience, maybe because the owner doesn't know what they're
But
doing,
this is
right?
an easy win,
So
right? This is a low hanging fruit that you see. Yeah.
I would say it's a semi. So in my
Okay.
product, right, I rank them easy wins based on the impact of that easy win, right? Out of a 5 star, right? So you have
Got you.
5 out of 5 is like you do that today, you'll see results in an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your stuff like that. And then there's impacts that are maybe like 2 out of 5, which is a long term, right? So there's
Mm-hmm.
the one I'm talking about right now is improving the user experiences. Work with your navigation, right? You should not have a user should not have to click more than I think is 3 times to get to your an article. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're on the site, you click on the navigation and then you click on an archive post. That's the maximum amount of clicks. So I've seen people have like it takes 5 steps to get to an article. Don't do that. Condense that, right? It shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
take that long. So that's I mean, that's easy win, but the result of that's going to take 6 months, because Google has to re-index, pick it up, and reevaluate your site.
Of
So
course.
those kind of things. And then on page wise, a lot of things of page speed, really focus on that heavily. I change themes. Most of my sites are in WordPress. I change it all to WordPress, the fastest theme, Generate Press. I love that. I use WP Rocket. So most website owners don't do that. I do an overhaul myself when I buy a site to get it really fast on a fast host. And, that's the technical SEO that needs to be done to get the foundation. You can't have in real estate. If you have a bad foundation, your property is worthless, right? So get the foundation and then grow from there.
Yeah, that's just such a good call. I think one of our team members just posted in Slack the other day. I think I didn't really look at it because I didn't open the image, but I think we're like 68 page speed and we went to 98, and it was like one of the first things that we've done. It's so important to do
Yep.
because that's usually like I think people forget or put that in a different category to user
Yeah. Yeah.
experience, where it's really under the same umbrella, isn't it?
It is. It is for sure. Yeah.
What else do you mentioned the navigation. What else do you
Right.
see as being quite important for user experience? Because that's a broad term, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Put so people. First thing when you come onto a site for user experience, right, is if you're on a desktop, you see the logo and then you see the navigation. It's essentially the first thing. So focus your main topics in the navigation. If you have a getting started page, put that on the top because that's where you want people to go. Because when they go there, you're interlinking to a lot of your content. You maybe are selling a digital product. You're gonna, do a shout out there. But also, what are your pillar categories? Put them at the very top. Make sure that those are the focus, right? Don't put random categories that make no sense, or maybe they're only done for SEO purposes. Put the ones that make you the most money up there. So that's a navigation wise. Other things for user experience. Yeah, I can't think of any immediate off the top of my head. Yeah. But yeah, just structure your site as if you are coming on the site and how would you like to find information? You don't want to look around too much, they'll leave, right? Also, put a search bar. I put a search bar on the navigation. I do see that if you have a site with good content, people are going to search. They want to search and they're going to look through it. And it actually gives you more content ideas in Google Analytics where you can actually search. You can
Who's
search for
searching?
what people searched, right? And then write content for that. I have a site with 100,000, now 150,000 visitors, and I get a lot of searches daily, and that has given me great content ideas. Right? I'm missing that content. People are looking for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. And also, I guess I like to put myself in the customers, the clients, or the audience's shoes, or the traffic shoes, and go, all right, if I'm coming to this site and I see one good article, and I can see that they've got so many other awesome articles, I don't know where to start, but maybe I
Right.
might be able to think of something that is like, all right, I'm going to see if they've just got this keyword, this topic. I think that's
Right.
a great
Right.
great way to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pinterest SEO is. I know this is not this is a lot longer. This is probably like a 1 to 2 star for you.
Yeah. I'm an SEO.
Yeah.
I don't focus on social. I outsource that to my some social media experts.
Mm,
Um, I don't buy websites that are Pinterest focused, as in, they get most of the traffic from Pinterest. I buy sites that are organic focused. And then over time, as they're self-sustaining businesses. I then add on social presence, right? It's kind of a different approach. But yeah, I'm not the person to ask about social media. I'm not good at that at all.
I'm so glad that you mentioned what you're not good at, because there's a lot of people that can't do that, and I strongly believe that I need to just stay away from so many things because I can just
Yeah,
stuff it up as well.
yeah,
The big one that I want to talk about is email.
yeah,
Do you use this as a strategy to get more traffic back to the site? Because there's just massive percentage of sites that haven't got an email list
yeah,
content sites, and they don't really use this as a strategy. And I see that as it's a longer term. It's probably like a 2 to 3 for you, maybe. I don't know. You can correct me on
yeah.
that, but is that
It is a 2 to 3. So one of my sites has a 19,000 subscriber list. So that is a big strategy for that. It brings in revenue. I send them 3 emails a week, a lot. I have
mm,
a 40 drip campaign, 40 email drip campaign over 2 to 3 weeks that I've built up, and I like to use a strategy of 3 pieces of informational content and then one offer, right? And then 3 more and then one offer, and that generates thousands of dollars to that campaign. And
mhm.
because I have 100,000 people coming into the site with a 2 to 3% conversion rate, so I'm getting that's the recurring factor. So
Yeah.
one thing people miss on content sites, and that's my focus on 2021, is
Mm,
building a moat around your business where
mhm.
you're not stuck with Google, Pinterest, or whatnot. What is the recurring factor? When you go and sell a site, people are looking at, everybody's scared. Google's going to crash tomorrow. So I'm going to give you a 35x multiple because I don't know what's going to happen after 2.5, 3 years, right?
Mhm.
But now if you're recurring, which is email marketing, now I honestly think the value should be much higher. It's not reflected in the market that well. But over time, as more sophistication comes into the content investing space, people should be valuing email different than display ads or Amazon affiliate or organic traffic, because organic
Yeah.
traffic can go away tomorrow, but your emails are there, right? So anyways, I do focus on that.
It's comes back to what I said earlier, is that the more control that you have in your business, usually the less risk there is in your business.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah,
can control the a big portion, or even just a small portion, like you mentioned, of users
right,
going to your site via
right,
email, then
yeah,
you've decreased your risk hugely. And people,
yeah,
I mean, it's very common that
yeah.
99% of sites are traffic from Google, most of them.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I know some sites do have email, and I think that is going to change. So, kind of tying back into my newsletter, which is long form content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Typical, even my outdoor site right now is short form content, which is you're expecting the user to act. So you send an email saying, "Hey, check out this article." You expect them to click, right? And that is what happens with typical average open rates of 25%, let's say, and click rates can be 1 to 3% because you're asking the user to do something. But for my newsletter, which is two different industries, but the idea is when you give the long form content, they don't need to click. So people are on their phone, they can read it, right? And my
Mm-hmm.
open rates are 50 to 60%, which is double, right? Click through rates are naturally just going to go up again because people are reading, they see the information and they click. So that's what my new strategy in 2020. And this is because of the new age of newsletters and,
Mm.
media that's in your phone and immediate, right? Is to
Yeah.
transition all my content site email marketing to be long form. So I can send content that I'm posting on my site directly to people's inboxes. And now I can have sponsored ads within my email newsletter and charge
Mm-hmm.
$500 a month, $1,000 a month. And so it's a much different approach, but I think people should really focus on that going forward.
It's such a great strategy. It really is monetizing your email list in a different way, not just monetizing
Yeah,
your email list of like, let's just send people to the site, because it's like advertising versus affiliates, right? In your
yeah,
email list, because you can try and work on CRO within your own email list, or you can just
yeah,
have slap some ads in there and you're already getting the traffic anyway. So you can
exactly,
combine, you can look
exactly.
at it as though your email can be like your website, because it's a
Yeah, I
different
mean,
form of media.
you there's a lot of, email copywriting and all of that. I think that's going to change next year. Copywriting is always going to be the thing, but enticing people to read a very short form email and then click an affiliate offer, that is, people are catching on to that. They kind of see that, they know what that is, the audience, right? So
It's
it's
just
time
words.
for
Yeah,
provide the value up front,
exactly.
and then
Value.
put in the sponsor ads there, and charge a fixed fee to an advertiser. And those brands are looking for eyes, right? Just to always see the same thing over and over again, and they're going to get that through the email. It's the most intimate way to connect with an audience, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we
Yeah.
went off a branch right
No, it
there.
seems so important because it's
Yeah,
value. Like people
yeah,
don't buy based off like manipulative copywritten
right,
words. It's like,
right,
okay, wow, this is actually valuable and I've learned something. And once
right,
somebody learns something over a certain amount of time, that stacks up to
right,
them, tipping the domino over and then going,
right,
okay, cool. Like I'll giving me enough value about this product, I'll go away and check it out.
right,
I
exactly.
love that we got into email because it's hugely undervalued, and it's like one of the it's just one of the things that you actually have so much control over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, we should caveat, not all niches are ideal for email marketing, specifically content sites. I mean, if you
yeah,
have a niche in the coffee industry, yeah, you should have an email list. If you have something in finance, you should. If you have something in kitchen gadgets, I don't see any value there, right? Unless
yeah.
you have some digital products or something where you built something different than just affiliate, because no one wants to read affiliate best of articles in their inbox.
No, that's right.
Unless you're the wire cutter, but you're not. So
Because it's a one. I think people should understand why as well, and it's the main
exactly.
reason is because it's a one-time purchase, and people
Right.
aren't in the they aren't forever trying to learn about that product
Right.
and unless there can be caveats around that as well. Like if you look at the DIY niches, this people may be
Right.
always loving renovations to their house.
Exactly.
If they're on a newsletter, you don't need to just push one bathroom product forever,
Right.
but you
Yeah.
can teach
Exactly.
them about renovating their house. And there's
Right.
different. But if somebody's going to buy like a drink bottle, you've got a content site. There's best drink bottles in, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't buy sites like that anymore. Right. They have to be a little
Yeah.
broader than that. Yeah.
Well,
Used
that's
to,
right.
not today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not a good long term
Yeah.
investment. Yeah. Cool.
For sure.
Last question I want to ask is where do you see, like, you've got your finger on the pulse with a lot of SEO stuff and content
Yeah.
sites. Where do you see content sites evolving in 2021
Yeah.
beyond? And also maybe even SEO, like our approach to it.
Content sites, I mean, if you want to survive, it's no longer a content site; it's a media company, right?
Great.
Think bigger. I've had that shift, and I'll explain briefly what I'm doing differently to build it into a media business. But I have seen that we, as content site creators, we have the audience. I mean, come on, our sites have the visitors. Brands should be. That's brands want to partner with us. So it's just if you are an affiliate, just a simple guy, gal, reaching out to a brand, asking for a partnership, they're going to say no, right? Most of the time, right? So restructure your own holding company to be a media company, and and immediately they're going to take you. Even if you're a one-man team, you can say we. You don't have to say I, right? Just to structure that to build more brand relationships. For example, I built up like a media company in the outdoor space, even though I only have 2 sites in that vertical, right? So it's a vertical play. But what I'm doing now is reaching out to brands and saying, look, I have the audience. You guys, you can do a social shout out package for 1,000. You can do this for that, and it's just one-time revenues that come in to sustain the recurring revenues on the site, right? Keep putting content up. So it's just structuring yourself as a media company. Other things, I honestly think this is overlooked, and some people do this very well. E-commerce brands are buying up content sites because they have the visitors, and that's one way to do it. But as content site owners, right? I am ranking for best of articles. I know what I'm selling, what products I'm selling. So in 2021, my focus is to launch private label brands on Amazon or Shopify or e-commerce, right? Just to take the margin and give it to myself, 30 to 40% margin as a typical on a product. that should be mine. There's no reason I give it to somebody else, right? So that now builds a moat, and all of a sudden your valuation goes from 36x to, SaaS level 50, 60x multiples, just because you built an FBA, not an FBA, just an e-commerce brand partnered with the content site, sold as a package, right? So yeah.
So good. So good. I love the way that you see these heading. I've got clients that own big Amazon businesses. I'm talking 6 figures a month and stuff in my mastermind, and they're buying up businesses, right? Content sites, and it's a great strategy, and vice versa is like go the other way. I would say as a caveat for somebody that's just buying their first content site, maybe don't go down that strategy right away. Because Amazon is a different kettle of fish when you're doing FBA. But
get experience, do a couple flips, and then you can think about that kind of stuff. But this is not a first time thing. I'm talking about like experience strategies.
Yeah, you've been in this game for a lot longer than you've been a lot longer than most people actually. So look, this has been so much fun to talk. Thank you so much for coming on. Is it easywins.io that we're going to send people to?
If you want the product, easywins.io for the strategies. If you want to follow my case studies, I do weekly websites for sale. I review public sites for sale, and I am also a broker, and so I sell sites. So if you're interested in that, that's the website, thewebsiteflip.com, so that you can look at that and look at all the content there. But those two places.
And guys, get on the newsletter. It is really good. Really, really good. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much, Jaryd. Thank you.
Guys, that's it for the show. Thank you for listening. Now, before we go, I want you guys to think of 2 to 3 people, 2 to 3, who are looking at getting into this game of investing in websites, looking at buying content sites, and or maybe have a content site and looking to grow it. You probably know a lot of people in this niche if you're listening to this podcast. Do them a massive favor and put Mushfiq in front of these people, please, because he is so good at what he does. Share this episode with them and they can go from there. So please do them a massive favor. That's it from me, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast episode.